Y'all get me today. So happy May 7th. I had to look to see because it's spring. We're all busy, which is exactly what I wanted to talk about today. So today is a little different. We're going to do an open mastermind. I really encourage you listeners, if you're not coming to the actual live streams on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, make sure that you come because you can ask questions, participate, get your brand in front of some other folks if you want. And obviously collect some really good value. So today, bring your questions, any comments, feedback, anything like that. I'm open ears, here to support you as always. But I did want to talk a little bit about how people are running their businesses in busy season and how it might actually be hurting you. So stay tuned. Glad to have you here.
Hey, deck building community. Enjoyed the show? Hit subscribe and give us your thoughts. We love hearing from you. Ready to level up your business? Visit deckbuildermarketers.com. Check out our services and let's build your success together. Don't forget to download our free guides. They're a game changer. Thanks for tuning in to We Love Deck Builders and see you on the next episode.
Okay. Don't leave. The episode's not over. It's just beginning. So anyway, who is here with me today? Say hello. Don't be shy. Love to see you guys. I've got all my comments up here. Looking forward to seeing some new faces today, some old faces. If you are one of our clients, please give me a shout out. And let's see, we got something going on down here. All right, I'm back. Oh, and if you could see, we do have a guest. She's, look at her little foot there. My dog's here sleeping on the couch, acting like a princess, but. All right, guys. So May 6th, and I want to talk about some things. Now, I know for our company, being a marketing agency, I've been in the industry for years, over 20 years. I've literally done every position that is possible within this space. And obviously, running my own business, as a lot of us do, because we see we can do things a little bit better, right? But things are changing. They've been changing. They always will change. That is one reason why I really wanted to get into this space, because I'm an ongoing learner. And, I'm just kind of seeing this cross between how our business is evolving and what I'm seeing with a lot of deck builders that I talk to. I talk to hundreds of deck builders a year. And a lot of the time it's kind of the same story. And if you've listened to any of my podcasts, you know that I am really big on systems. I've actually been nerding out. I'm always nerding out. I love history. And if you've ever seen The Men That Built America and things like that, and you learn about these titans, which, by the way, there's one on Netflix right now, and I think it's like The Men Who Built America, like sex, beer, and whatever episode. It's really interesting, man. Like, I don't know. I didn't know that much about Bush before, and he was revolutionary in terms of being the first to have pasteurization in beverages. You would think it was milk, but it was actually for beer. And I think that there's a lot of things in this country that were based around beer and marijuana and all kinds of stuff. But I digress. The point is he was a revolutionary. You know what I mean? He introduced that. Actually, before he introduced that, it was refrigerated, carts to be able to transport his product throughout the nation. Really interesting. But the theme behind all of these titans is that they really built their business. And it's interesting too. Let me tell you this, like, if you watch these documentaries, it could be overwhelming. You're like, oh my God, they make it seem like they did it in 2 years. Hell to the no. They did it like over the course of, 20 years in order to, reach a level of success. And keep that in mind too. Like, if you've been in the business for a while and you're like, hey man, like, I want to triple this business in the next, 5 years, get it to 10 million so that I could retire. Like, it's possible, but man, it's going to take a lot. I mean, especially if you've kind of just been growing really like slowly, and then all of a sudden you want to go like this. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that go into that. You have to think quick, you have to implement fast, you've got to be innovative. But more importantly, no matter what, in order to grow your business and to have peace of mind as a business owner, you have to have good systems and processes in place. And you have to be extremely diligent about efficiency and, obviously providing a good product, which customer service goes into that. I think we're probably going to start referring to our account managers as, you know, uh, account success or client success, because really at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Anyway, digressing again. So I really want to talk about that, in a little bit more detail. And I want to kind of explain a little bit maybe how we're going to be shifting here, get your feedback to see if you'd be interested in some of these visions that I have for the future. But really just take a oh, hold on, I'm distracted because Kevin's here. So Haney Construction is correcting me and letting me know that it is the 7th, not the 6th. So yeah. Does everybody even know it's May? Let alone the 7th over the 6th? He also said that it sounds like it's going to be a fantastic episode. And of course, yo, apes, no braid to twirl today. Still time, Spunky Brewster. I love all these nicknames. Good to have you, man. Glad you think this is going to be good. Add some questions and stuff like that. I'm eager to know how things are going for you right now. So I was talking to somebody that provides just another person that is helping to lead this business forward and move it forward by helping more than just providing products and stuff like that, but truly helping, you guys grow, which is what, we're all about. Like Lainey Slepin, Legacy Decks Academy, Deck Builder Marketers. We're all here for that reason. We just have a different tools in our tool set to help you with that. And man, it's crazy. This person that I talked to as well, I wanted to say, even the most successful people have, they have coaches or mentors in teams that help them, because things change all the time and you have to be ahead of it. You can't just be at baseline if you want to succeed. You have to be ahead of it. And so I'm always, I can tell you our most successful clients that work with us, they have some sort of a coach or accountability partner or something of that nature, because they realize they can always improve. And really the name of the game with this is, I think people get happy when they're busy. Builders get happy when they're busy. You look at your bank account and you're like, oh, cash is coming in. It's good. But I'm still seeing that people are being reactionary with their business, especially during busy season. Oh, I don't have time to actually focus on growing my business because, it's seasonal and I'm trying to do that when I don't have any cash flow in the winter or whatever. It's a really good time when you have a lot going on to really see what's broken and to really track your numbers in real time. So there's systems out there like Deck Metrics and Job Tread that will show you your margins in real time and just help you get smarter with that, so that you're not just looking at the bank account, but you're looking at what you're actually profiting with, which is important. And if it's not good, you're not efficient. You're not going to be a Rockefeller. You know what I mean? Meticulous detail to optimizing your systems. So if anyone's listening, before I really get into it, I'm really interested to know what systems you have in place for your business. And if you really map them all out with the different departments the reason I do the quotes is because depending on where you are in your business, you might be those departments, but you need to be looking at it in that way. If you don't have an accountability chart, by all means, get one, because it'll even help your team realize, hey, if we're going to grow, you know, Joe, the owner, can't be in 8 of the seats. It's just not realistic. I say it as a business owner and a woman, like, either I'm killing it with the business and failing as a mom, or maybe not doing so well as a mom, or, I'm killing it with my friendships or my personal time, fitness, and then, the other things aren't awesome. You just, you can't be amazing at everything at one time. I haven't seen that. And if you have, please let me know. But I think that we're humans and life is more organic than that. So anyway, the accountability chart is really important. And it's not an org chart, it's an accountability chart. An accountability chart is who is accountable for what. I've got a strategy manager. He's accountable for results. I have a CX manager. She's accountable for client success and retention. I have an HR person. She's in charge of, retention with the team. Like, there's all of these things. And if you build your accountability chart based off of what people, what they're accountable for, and have, like, if you were to grow your business, to 10 million or whatever, who would you need in those seats to make it happen? I think it's so important as a business owner and visionary to always know what your North Star is. We have to think big. We can't be stuck in the weeds and just trying to keep our head above water, like thinking about right now, which is what I see a lot of people doing in during the busy season. So anyway, what systems do you have in place? Let's talk about some different systems too. So far, accountability chart. Keep it simple. It's not a title role-based chart, which I think I get annoyed with titles. I've worked for myself a lot. I was a subcontractor, freelancer, and I have my own business. And I'm like, I don't know, titles are subjective with what that means. It's like, I just need to know as a business owner who's accountable for what. Because I can't be accountable for everything. I have a lot I have to be accountable for, and I need to make sure all the gears are working, correctly in order to produce the output that I'm striving for. So let's see, systems. We've got, I call it a growth system. Hold on, I got one comment here. You could look at it in silos: HR system, fulfillment system, delivering your service, your marketing system, sales system. I'm going to say growth system. And that's, obviously where our specialty is. So a growth system. Here we have the deck builder marketing growth system. And it really, I need to stop saying marketing, because it's more than that. It's really about aligning. It's kind of like a holy trinity. It's like, your brand, which is also your reputation, it's sales, and it's marketing, and all of those things have to be in alignment. You can't have marketing doing one thing and sales doing another thing, which is why we like to meet with our clients' sales team or manager, even if it's the business owner, on a quarterly basis to do a more in-depth strategy session versus the monthly kind of, get-togethers to review and align and stuff like that. So where am I at here? We're talking about a growth system. And my vision for the future in terms of what deck builder marketers can bring to the table is not just being a marketing agency. And to be honest, I don't think that I've ever really aligned with that. Yes, marketing is, something that's a little bit more tangible, I guess, for people to relate to and truly understand. But at the end of the day, it's kind of what I'm building is a growth operating system. And it doesn't fully replace full service marketing. I'm not abandoning what works. I'm not trying to become some giant software company or something like that. But I've always been iteratively building a more strategic and systemized, measurable version of what we already do. So it's the idea is, instead of just delivering marketing tasks, we help to install the systems underneath, which are important. If you talk to any coach, they're gonna want to know what your processes are and what your systems are. We're kind of moving into workflows now, more so, and we have been. And what does a workflow mean? Well, it means, you're using AI, different tools to automate, workflows, collect information, process information, and output it, to save time and to um, you know um, to produce a better output. Now, this sounds very conceptual, I'm sure, for you, but I just talked with um, Brian Miller from Deck Metrics, and his tool sounds amazing. It Like, in 30 seconds, you can get a whole takeoff and um, you know uh, a budget and materials and all of these things based off of the margin that you want from the project, and then have that estimate in real time for the prospect. Now, that is a really good example, because if I love to use the doctor situation. I mean, trust me, how busy are you to be able to deal with certain things? I'm going to tell you, like, I still have things coming in that, I have to deal with. And I'm like, ugh, I need to get a system for that or get it off my plate, because that stuff is not important. But let's just say, if you wanted to build a new house or something, like, how much time do you really have available to have to look for somebody? Well, by the way, you'd probably, maybe some of you would build your own house, but to do the research, to look for a few different contractors, and then to meet with them, and then have to wait, for the estimate and all of these things. Like, if you're a doctor or busy business owner, you just do not have the time for that. And so the people that can make the experience much more easier for you are the ones that are going to stand out. So being able to deliver an itemized estimate and breakdown in real time while you are there is really a win for the client. And I always want you to be thinking of your client first. And then, of course, yourself. Like, I always want to know what's going on with you. Are you getting home, to dinner with your family in time? Or are you working a ton? Um, and Man, I was talking to someone earlier this week about how much time it takes them to do an estimate, and it was 4 to 6 hours per appointment. And I mean, yes, I know that there's probably a lot of really good value that goes into that. And I'm sure he does a great job compared to delegating that to someone else. But if you put a price on your time, and I think more so, if you look at where you would be able to put your time into more impactful things that will help your business that other people can't do, you're going to find that you're holding yourself back. That's a lot of time. You've created a job for yourself as, a salesperson, where if you think of, the Titans, I'm not saying y'all need to be a Titan. Probably a lot of you don't have goals to do something like that, but I still think it's a really good example. Rockefeller and, Carnegie and all this, like, they weren't sitting there, selling. They were developing, relationships with the rail yards, or the railroads, and things like that, like big things that it's not going to be as easy for you to hand that off to somebody. So that's what I want to see for you guys. And systems are really important. A lot of you guys want to sell your company so that you can retire. Well, if everything's in here and you don't have scalable processes and systems, especially in today's day and age, there's just not a lot of value in that to make it really worth your time. You know what I mean? As far as how much you could get out of the business in order to be able to retire. So, here's an example of a system, for growth. Um, CRM workflows. That's customer relationship management. CRM workflows. Are you getting speed to lead? Are you getting back to people right away? Are you leveraging your data to follow up with people that went cold or said that they were going to work with another, deck builder? So that's part of follow-up systems, okay? And it's like a system is literally just thinking out how it works and how it could be repeatable and easy to follow, and it starts with just documenting it, right? Like, okay, ideally, we want to engage with people 2 months or whatever, 6 weeks after they've went cold. Okay, we know that. Now we can manually call them, we can email them, we can text them, we can knock on their door. Like, what is the preference for you? Lay it out, and then you could refine it from there. And that's where the efficiency part comes in. But the first is really outlining what the process needs to be in order to complete the system, right? Um, or the individual processes to complete the system. And now in today's age, you can leverage automation and AI to create these workloads or workflows to automate it, which is a lot of what we do from a marketing and sales perspective. We're building you a growth system that is like a magnet for your ideal customers. We're priming them for sales. The idea is that all of the content that we create, the marketing that we do, is answering questions that they are researching. So they find you, and if you're the first one to say the things that they are researching, you're going to have a much better chance of getting that lead. And then if you are making like the research part of hiring somebody for a $50,000 to $250,000 project is part of the experience that they even have with your brand. And so you have to be intentional about that. I'm going to reel this back in for a minute because I'm talking a lot and I hate it. I want you guys to ask questions and participate, or at least say hi in your ear. But this all goes back to what I was saying. Like, it's busy season. And so you have to set yourself up for success for the future at all times. You can't just stop because you're busy right now. Some things that happen are, you're like, okay, I've been working hard to like get this all, like, so we would be busy. So great. Um, are you looking at your margins? Are the numbers actually good? Are you looking at things on a weekly or even daily basis to see where you're at so that you could proactively mitigate, negativity, if certain projects aren't meeting your margin goals and stuff like that. Um, uh, in the slower seasons, you're doing everything, maybe you're at that point, you're like, oh, shoot, I didn't really plan on how I was going to build my business before. And so now I'm like, like I need to figure this out in preparation for having a full pipeline and stuff like that for when busy season starts. Well, then busy season starts and, or it doesn't start before busy season. You're trying to protect yourself and get your pipeline full. So maybe you discount your pricing a little bit in order to make that happen. And that's undervaluing yourself. I see a lot of deck builders do that. And it's because they're reacting in in one aspect, but there's emotion tied to it because of what the bank, cash flow is showing. But if you could be intentional and have a system that will enable you to have more consistency, then you are really you're making the rules. And I think that's what we all want. So CRM workflows, follow-up systems, reporting, know your numbers, y'all. Project proof systems. So I think the pros know how to set expectations and react, not react, but proactively put things in place to mitigate anything that could go wrong. And the people that have been and had those hard lessons are the ones that can do that. So project proof systems, review systems, accountability, database reactivation, talked about that a little bit, AI enabled workflows, campaign coordination, growth planning. That is really the system that we're putting together. And that's a lot more than just getting you leads, because getting you leads is subjective in terms of the quality, and is it helping to really build your brand so that you are um being able to, what was the word I just create the rules, right? Like, you say who is a good fit to work with you. You know what I mean? That's really the goal, I would think, for a lot of folks that I talk to. So then after you have the system, you need to make sure that you're constantly improving it. You know what I mean? And maintaining it just like you would with your car or something, right? But with business, it's organic. Like, things change and evolve, and so you have to constantly make sure that it's still in alignment. You need to, make sure that all these systems that you've set up, there's a quality assurance component to it. If you ever decide to optimize something with your business, make sure that um, you document where it was before, and then you outline what you're going to do to improve it. And then you have some sort of a follow up to say, okay, we're going to like report and see if like this was actually successful. Don't just go by your hip. You know what I mean? Actually have some sort of like a check-in. So that's QA, and optimization is actually changing things in order to improve it. And then accountability too is having a partner that can really help with that. So that's a little bit about what we do for our deck builders. I'm hoping that it really opens your mind to some ways that you can start breaking things down for your business, because I'm going to tell you, from a marketing perspective, we can't market a business that's broken. I mean, we can, but you're not going to get the impact that you would if, things were structured a little bit better and you have good reputation too, which is really important. And that has to be real. It can't just be things that you hear from people. It has to be posted online so that people see it during the research phase, and then algorithms with AI and search engines and things like that will give you prompts so that they show you when people are researching. So for us, this really is a partnership. We can build the system and optimize it and be accountable for it to a certain extent. So our clients, they still have to answer the phone. We could leverage automation or AI agents to do that, like after hours, if you're interested in that. But human connection is never going to die, right? It always stands out. You have to use the system. If you don't use the system, there's no point in having it. Have you ever bought something to solve a problem, but then you don't actually use it? I mean, you know what I'm talking about. You have to be diligent with following up. Like, I guess Teslas drive on their own and some cars drive on their own. I was going to say the car is going to drive itself. You have to drive it, right? But anyway, there are certain things that, our guys are accountable for. So with Deck Builder Marketers, we really, we're just constantly, pushing the boundaries and how we can help our clients. And I think that when you have good systems in place, you can think at that level as well, to make sure that the experience is always, a 10 out of a 10. The projects are better than your competition. They last longer, just the general experience and the process and everything is really good. And it takes intention and writing it down and leveraging, workflows in order to make it happen. So I've talked a lot. Let me know, is this resonating? Any takeaways so far? Any questions? Any thoughts on like how you have optimized any of your systems? And more so in terms of, it being busy season, are you just, again, trying to keep your head above water, or are you actually, looking at the business in terms of how it can really, help you? Sorry, I've got some more comments here, but are you looking at the business in a way that you're not going to be after busy season, you're going to be sit there like, okay, now we got to get it all figured out for next season. Like, are you being intentional and iterative and getting better and better every day? I mean, I say 1% better every day. It's the small things that really add up. Augusta, yeah. So Kevin from Haney Construction said Augusta Bush was an amazing man. The name of the stadium in St. Louis is because he created a separate brand of beer with his last name on it. That's why Bush Beer is a sub-brand of Anheuser. Well, from what I understand, Bush was Anheuser's son-in-law, and then once he got Bush like ridiculously successful and one of the top brewers in the nation, Anheuser made him partner. Anyway, we got a naughty comment here too. Actually, I don't know if that's a naughty comment. It's from somebody, and it just says Anheuser. It says an F before it. That's why I thought it was a naughty comment. Okay, cool. Chad, so it says PWT Chad Furley. You guys, when you comment, let me know what your company name is, because the handle sometimes it's hard to distinguish. But he said, Dr. Dex is working on a Dex sales. Sorry, this is in the way and I can't see it. A Dex sales what? Tool. Dr. Dex is working on a Dex sales tool as well. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I got to tell you, there are a lot of people that are recognizing gaps in the industry and developing tools and software to support other builders. It's a beautiful thing. But yeah, I mean, give back, right? And take advantage of some of these things that are there for you. But yeah, there's a lot of opportunity out there. Thank you for sharing so much. Who really feels like they have a good sales system and marketing system? Let me know. Very curious to know. Keep the comments coming. Appreciate you guys very much. And let me know if this is useful. So let's see. Just some patterns that I see. When you're busy, or I'll also tell you, if somebody in leadership, like if you're gone on vacation or something, and you're wearing a lot of those hats in the accountability chart, you're going to see that the cracks in the business get exposed. And so sometimes that's a good thing, right? Like failure to me is not a bad thing in a lot of ways, so long as you learn from it and you get better. And I think there's a lot of value in failing too, just like I just said. Like if you, once you go through all of that, you know how to protect yourself so that doesn't happen again. Whereas somebody that's not as experienced or hasn't been through those things, they don't. And so what happens with that is misaligned expectations and bad reputation. So you kind of like, we try and let our clients know, our deck builders at Deck Builder Marketers, what could go wrong. That's important to know because it could happen. There's a lot of things that we do that are out of our control, having to play games with, Google and Facebook and all that. Sorry, I had to chug some water. I'm going to be out of town next week in Georgia for a conference and getting sick. So need to down those vitamins. But anyway, here's some things that we see a lot. We track how many missed calls come in from first-time callers with our clients. And we see that a lot of calls get missed, and a lot of opportunities get missed because of that and just not getting back to people. Follow-up slows down. And then that's when people get bad reviews. I mean, let's face it, you guys could all agree most of the time when you get a bad review, it's because somebody was mad at, one of your guys with the way they drove, or you just didn't get back to them quick enough. And that, I feel it. Like consumers are in control. It's crazy that, they have control of your reputation and can affect it poorly. But, if somebody's taking their time to, really invest in your business, and figuring out how they can give you their money and then you don't follow through so that they can give you their money, you could get a little sour taste in their mouth. people stop using, we have Sales Jumpstart. It ties into Job Tread. It's the whole, beginning part, the beginning system. Everything that we do is the beginning, right? Like sales and marketing, or marketing and then sales. And if you're not updating that, you're not going to be, the automations to, or even the manual follow up isn't going to happen, because it's not documented as to when it needs to happen, or you didn't move them into a stage in the pipeline or tag them in order to have that automation happen. Or you're not even putting notes in the record, which we have it now that all calls are transcribed. And so we're doing things for our clients that we're doing for ourselves too, where we're leveraging those call transcripts to get content ideas based off of objections, and to better train sales. So it's basically like having a sales training brain, using AI to give you that feedback. But anyway, if you're not updating the CRM with notes from your engagement with that prospect, and they just went cold or declined, maybe now wasn't the right time, you still want to get back to them. There's so much gold in your database, and if you don't have any notes, you're not really going to have a good connection when you go to follow up with them. It'll feel cold, right? So that's important. Reviews also don't get collected, and you guys, busy season is when you can be getting the best photos of your work, usually because it's in the summer and you got more daylight and it's beautiful out. And then you got to get those reviews. You got to take advantage of every moment, you know what I mean, and get those reviews. We have a system for that. It's really robust. It's really amazing. And it makes it easy. It makes the process so you don't even have to think about it. In terms of asking for the reviews, the review follow-up, seeing where you are in your goals for your reviews, being able to follow up with them in one place that's really easy. We have one of our clients that is leveraging an AI agent to respond to the reviews, because he just kind of gets a little overwhelmed with what to say. And so he's testing it out. And if you're here, please give your feedback on the podcast here and let others know. So look, man, I mean, this is a really good example. You can't develop a system for something if you don't know what the problem is. And so it's really important to, I think, actually, to be honest, I'm guilty of it, and I see it. Actually, I just now realized there's a fella on Instagram that I forgot to follow up with. Oh my goodness. If you're listening, I am so sorry. I will get back to you right away. But he came to me and he had a question about a solution. And I was like, yeah, I mean, that could work. But if I can understand like where this came from in a little bit more detail, there might be a couple of different options that can solve that. And so it's like taking time to truly understand the problem is, you should probably spend more time on that than the solution, because then you're going to come up with the best solution, right? So we wouldn't have known that that would be a really good solution for our client if he wasn't vocal about it and recognized that, so maybe sometimes it's being honest with yourself too. So project photos, they don't get taken or organized or done with. And you want to do those in real time. You're trying to maximize every minute in busy season. And so you want to build that fear of missing out by showcasing this amazing work that you do. And guys, you can't just do it on social media, man. Like, most of the time it's other deck builders following you. And unless you're paying to play, you might not be getting in front of new people. Social media, like, it does get indexed on search engines now, but it has to be really valuable content that is answering people's questions, or optimized really well. So make sure that you're, emailing people regularly, like, and sharing those projects. Like, hey, I was thinking about you, and I just wanted to share this project that we just got done, because it's kind of what you were thinking when we talked last, or obviously getting it in your ad campaigns, and more importantly, on your website. Your project pages should be the most valuable pages on your website. And if anybody's interested in having a podcast on, like, literally just how to promote your projects in these different ways, let me know. We can certainly jam on that for quite a while. But listen, guys, um, marketing becomes reactive, and I think that it's always reactive. And it's one of the most important things that you could do for your business. And I know you guys are probably sitting there, you're like, she's all subjective. But there are a lot of builders out there that agree with me, and that is what feeds your business. So you're really shooting yourself in the foot if you're just relying on what, might come in instead of being intentional about it and really maximizing every minute that you have during busy season. And let's just face it, owners become the bottleneck. I mean, you know it. And a lot of times what I hear is, I don't want to focus on this right now because um, we're busy. We're busy. I don't want to like I don't what if we bring something, or, what if? But the reality is like, why would you wait to grow your business? That it just it you know, if you know that you need to get these things in place, there's never going to be a perfect time to do that. The perfect time is now, and really taking advantage of every minute that you have. Remember, 1% better every day. And then, of course, when slow season hits, everybody is like, where did the leads go? Why did referrals slow down? Why does marketing feel broken? Why are margins still tight even though, revenue is high? And it's because, like I said, most people don't have a lead problem first. They have a systems problem. Um, and I've already kind of broken down how busy seasons should be the time. I'll repeat it again, where your systems get tighter, follow up gets stronger, project proof gets documented, reviews get collected, CRM usage improves, customer experience gets refined, database marketing expands, reporting gets clearer, and momentum gets built for the future. That's really key. And always compare yourself to your competition so that you know how to stand out. When everyone else is overwhelmed and reactive, the best companies are building infrastructure underneath the growth. And that's where I really think this industry is headed. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can agree. Most outdoor living companies, they already spend money on Google ads, meta ads, direct mail, billboards, magazines, their website, software like CRMs, project management software, marketers, whether in-house, external coaches, things like that. But what happens is these are things, these are pieces that are all disconnected. I can't tell you how many people I talk to don't even know what their return on investment is on a lot of these things, and even really big companies too. So from a marketing perspective, it's not just how do we do more marketing, it's how do we connect the entire growth system. And that's where this whole idea is coming from. So if you're interested in learning more about how to actually get a growth system installed for your business, I'm always here for you. You can always email me at april@deckbuildermarketers.com. You can use the chat on the website, deckbuildermarketers.com. And of course, you could always book an hour with me to do a growth strategy session. I do my homework, and we'll talk about, different things to help you really optimize your business. But what I want to say to you, and what I would love feedback on, is who would be interested in having us help you find somebody in-house that we can put under our wing and put your growth system in place, because we know what works. This is what we do for all of our builders. And we put that person under our wing so that they know how to use it. So the idea is to integrate different workflows and eventually agents, AI agents, that they're the pilot for, to kind of make a lot of this stuff happen. It's a loaded role. And we have a different person that specializes in all the areas all of the services that we provide here. And so trying to find somebody that could do it all is like trying to find a unicorn, and it's pretty impossible. But if you could build, like we build the system for our clients, and like we're month to month. If it's not working out, like you still have your system. um but I think that there's a lot of power in enabling somebody that's actually on your team there, hearing the things that are going on with the business and getting alignment off of the owner's plate, which is what happens a lot, and on that person, and us being able to really um what's the word I'm looking for, just mm, just build them up in their career, um, I think is a really valuable asset. So if you're interested in something like that, please let me know, because I think this is a really good direction that I would love to go in. Because at the end of the day, like, yes, right now we're providing marketing services, and that's never going to change, at least for the foreseeable future. I mean, we're still going to continue to do that, but we really want to help move your business forward, and help you get systems in place that are going to put more value on your business in general, not just get you more leads, get the pipeline full for now. We're talking like bigger vision. Again, I'm going to go back to the Titans. They were really successful because they were really diligent on creating systems and optimizing those systems for efficiency. That is the value that you need. And that is where we really want to come in and help. So if you're listening, let me know. Again, you can always reach out to me, book a call with me, use the chat, email, whatever. You could text it 760-671-3400 as well. That's my cell phone. Let me know. And then if you are a sales coach, just an operations coach, maybe you're a manufacturer that has a program to really help these builders, let me know, because I want to build up a resource network to really enable, and I already have, I mean, if trust me, like during those strategy sessions, if we're not a good fit, I'm going to be like, you need to go talk to this person, or, I recommend checking this out, or maybe these are the things that you do to really help with where you are now. And then when you're ready for the next level, maybe that's where we come in and we'd be a better fit. So I really do encourage you to take advantage of that time. It's really invaluable. And I love it, man. I mean, I just want to help you guys. That's where my passion comes in. Obviously, we're able to help at a higher level if you work with us, and we're able to get this growth operating system in place for you. And then, manage it and optimize it so that it's getting better and, every day, and compounding, and, you're getting a higher return on investment, and you're growing your brand and refining your systems in order to reach that North Star. Of course we're here for you, but it's not about delivering marketing tasks. We help install all of the systems that are underneath growth in general, as I mentioned. Okay. We've got Kevin here. He said, hold on. He said, MLB won't let stadiums be named after alcohol or tobacco companies. That is why Busch Stadium is called Busch Stadium, because it was his last name, and also why the brand exists. Yeah. I love history. I'm excited for Deck Expo to be at NOLA this year in New Orleans. Sometimes I say NOLA and people don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm so excited. I can't wait. I love it. I do all the history tours while I'm there. I just love it. I love feeling like I'm back in time, That's why I like history so much. Kevin also said PWT is Pacific Wood Tech, and Chad Furley is a phenomenal rep and also happens to work for PWT. Awesome. Thank you for the clarification. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up here. Appreciate your guys' time. Where should I leave with this? I've repeated myself quite a bit, but I really hope that I've nailed home in the importance of getting a system together and being very intentional with the future outcome of your business by starting now and not waiting, and really maximizing every opportunity that you have during the busy season and constantly working to get yourself out of being a bottleneck. I mean, you could ask my team. I've been through all of that. And I still, there's still things that I'm trying to let go of because at the end of the day, like if you're doing a good job building your team, they want that accountability. They want to take care of those things that you feel you're the only one that can solve. Trust me, leave that stuff to them so that you can be the Rockefeller and you can build those relationships and be innovative and focus on your numbers to ensure that you haven't created a job for yourself and you have this asset that you can latch onto to build the lifestyle that you want or the future that you want. I think a really good thing to think about is, how can I build this business to support my lifestyle? I know it sounds so simple, but I think sometimes we get into this and we just start thinking, well, I got all these people I need to take care of. I need to take care of all these people. I need to take care of my clients, But at the end of the day, you're in control. How are you going to intentionally structure this business now and in the future to support what you want out of the world? And I still really want you guys to send me your goals. Okay. I think it's beautiful. I've mentioned before, one of my clients, he loves, he's an artist, man. A lot of you guys are artists, which is why I resonate with you because I went to art school. But he loves being a coach for his, kids' sports teams. And if I'm able to really reel that in a little bit, it's about making an impact in the youth in their lives to set them up for the future and to, coach and encourage them to be the best that they can. And I will say that is something that I love doing. I love to be a cheerleader for people. I'm a coach for other agency owners around the nation, and it's such a privilege to be able to do that. Because I think a lot of us hold ourselves back, or maybe we have excuses, and having somebody else to, come in and shed that light and let you know that there's nothing standing in your way other than you is such a beautiful thing to be a part of. And anyway, I do a lot of that here. Our mission here is to, really make an impact and, impact people's lives in general. So, all right, I am done talking for now. I hope this was helpful. Again, looks like Jen's got the link here, deckbuildermarketers.com/strategy. I'm here for y'all. Thank you so much for listening in on the podcast. Book some time with me, ask me a question. Always here for you. Over now.
Hey, deck building community. Enjoyed the show? Hit subscribe and give us your thoughts. We love hearing from you. Ready to level up your business? Visit deckbuildermarketers.com. Check out our services and let's build your success together. Don't forget to download our free guides. They're a game changer. Thanks for tuning in to We Love Deck Builders and see you on the next episode.